traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
This will be a review of the 2019 Harley Davidson Triglide. I looked over the YouTube for other possible reviews for these bikes, but was unable to find them. So I feel like being the owner of a brand new 2019, I might be able to give a few insights into the performance of this vehicle. This is my 2019 Harley Davidson Triglide. I purchased this bike back in about mid-October, and being the 1st of December, I should give you about a 6-week review of this motorcycle. Instead of being about a 3 or 4 mile trip or a journey that you will find on most demonstration videos, this is actually a clip of several clips of videos and a review based on about 1,200 miles of riding so far. The 2019 has an upgraded engine from a 107 cubic inch engine to a 114 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 engine. It has a fuel capacity of 6 gallons, which should last you for about 240 miles of riding. My Triglide is also equipped with a radio or an infotainment system that contains an AM, FM, MP3 player, an XM satellite radio, an intercom system for rider to passenger communication, and also a CB unit for actually bike to bike communications. It also has a navigational GPS system, which I'm quite impressed with so far, and it also allows you to use Harley Davidson's ride planner for designing your routes. I will apologize right now for this video contains no sound of the motorcycle nor any radio sounds, because YouTube in their wisdom feels that if you're playing any kind of copyrighted material, they will basically mute your entire soundtrack. I will have to either use YouTube audio sound or no sound at all. But I will tell you right now, this bike does sound mighty nice. My riding history has been about 40 years, off and on, riding all different kinds of two-wheeled motorcycles. Everything from obviously Harley Davidsons to Honda Goldwings to Kawasaki sport bikes to Suzuki sport bikes, and I even rode a Norton at one time. Those are awful nice themselves. Wished I had some of the old bikes. First thing I want to talk to you all about is cornering. You know, if you come from the two-wheel persuasion, you're used to leaning and using your body weight to fine-tune or maneuver your motorcycle around corners. With the Triglide, if you try leaning, you'll find the only place you'll end up is in the ditch on either side of the road. These motorcycles must be turned by the handlebars. In other words, you know, you pull left to go left, you pull right to go right. You know, the counter steering is a thing of the past. Once you get used to that little change, which is no big deal, it's just you have to think about it as a totally different world now. Once you get used to the change in maneuvering, these Triglides are a dream to ride. They really are. If you've ever ridden a quad or a snowmobile, the cornering will sure sound and feel remarkably similar. One area I had to consider was cost. You know, that how much was it going to cost for me to have a three-wheel motorcycle? Well, I decided my choices were either a Goldwing and take it in and have it converted over to a three-wheeled motorcycle, or to buy this Harley Davidson Triglide. Well, at first my thoughts were, if I was going to buy a motorcycle, I was going to end up spending somewhere around $25,000 for a new Goldwing, and then have it converted. And the costs were going to be around $10,000 to $15,000 for the conversion kit. Then to spend another up to $5,000 to have it converted. and then I would have to modify the front end as well, as far as the rake of the Honda Goldwing. Well, once I'd put all that together, it was going to cost me about $40,000. That cost was basically going to be comparable to whether or not I bought a new Harley Davidson and then had it converted, or if I bought any other motorcycle and had it converted. So the cost was going to be kind of the same either way. Then I saw the Harley Davidson Triglide, and it was actually, it was made to be an actual three-wheeler. There was no converting necessary, so I would keep the manufacturer's warranty intact, which would be unlike, I wouldn't be able to do that with any other motorcycle that I used. And the cost was comparable. In this case, these particular motorcycles, these Triglides, were running anywhere between $34,000 and $36,000. So the cost was comparable, if not a little less than was to get one converted. One thing I do want to point out in this particular video clip, you will see a flashing light in my RPM gauge. That is actually my parking brake indicator, and for some reason it actually shows up as flashing in this clip, but is not actually flashing during the ride. Did I mention yet just how much fun these are to corner? One thing I can say about the cornering of the Triglide, you don't lean through the corner, but it will flat set down and it will fly through that corner. I can keep up with most of my friends on two wheels with me going three, and I know some of my friends that can actually go as fast or faster around a corner than some of my friends with two wheels. You just have to get used to it being a little different is all. Now in this next series of clips, I want to show you what Harley Davidson has done when it comes to their Daymaker headlight system. The Daymakers are stock on the Triglide, and I can honestly say if you do not have a Daymaker headlight on your existing Harley Davidson, it's a matter of safety. The more you can be seen, the safer you are. And this headlight will honestly keep you very safe, in my opinion, of course. What I want to point out here is my cone of light compared to the other motorcycles ahead of me. If you'll notice that it looks like I'm about 3 times wider and brighter than the motorcycles in front. And I believe that to be true. And that's solely to the fact that I have Daymakers on my bike. Once again, in this clip, I want to show you that both my traction control light and my parking brake light are both illuminated in this video clip. They are not actually illuminated during the ride. It's just something having to do with the videoing, I guess. You may ask yourself, just how do these things perform when there are two people on board? Well, that's what this following clip is meant to show. Well, this clip here, my wife and I, we ride together about 90% of the time, and I'll be honest and say that when she's on the Trike with me, I don't even know she's back there. And performance wise, it handles just as well with two on board as it does just being one up. Your last question you may have is, when do I know when it's time for me to get a Triglide. Well, I can't make that decision for you, but for me it is when I didn't feel comfortable on two wheels anymore. Whether you have bad knees like I do from all the sports I played when I was younger or whatever, that if you feel that you may have an opportunity to drop it, or you just don't feel comfortable on two wheels anymore for any reason at all, that the only thing I can say is I was dreading this moment for probably 3 years when I first started investigating and doing my information gathering upon going to three wheels. I can honestly say today, after 6 weeks of owning this motorcycle, I don't know why I waited so long. I hope that you have found this video to be slightly helpful in maybe helping you make that decision as to whether or not you want a Triglide or not, or if it's time for you to go from two wheels to three wheels like I did. All I can say is, do your homework, find out what's right for you, and life is short. Buy the damn motorcycle. We'll see you down the road. Bye now.